Okay. Oops. Take that, no? Scroll. Hello, I'm Rohit, and this is our version of answering the most Googled questions, and this time it's around the elections. So let's go. So the first question is,
Many minutes later.
So what is the difference between the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha? So Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha are the two houses of the Indian Parliament, with Lok Sabha being the lower house and the Rajya Sabha being the upper house. Lok Sabha is called the House of People, where we vote and elect our representatives. These are the elections that is going on right now. Rajya Sabha is called the Council of States, where our state representatives who we elect to power select representatives for the Rajya Sabha. The Lok Sabha is primarily responsible for making and passing laws related to national issues, budgetary matters, and governance. It also plays a crucial role in structuring the government and also electing the Prime Minister. The Rajya Sabha, on the other hand, plays a significant role in the legislative process by reviewing and suggesting amendments to bills passed by the Lok Sabha. It also addresses issues of national importance that may not directly concern specific states. Okay. Second question is, what does the Lok Sabha do? Why is it important? Okay. So the members of the Lok Sabha are directly elected by us, like I said, meaning that they are our voices in the government and are responsible for highlighting the issues that we care about. So like I said, they debate, amend, pass bills, which then goes to the Rajya Sabha. They review and approve our annual budgets, and they also discuss and analyze different problems that are going on across the country. Okay, next question is, why are there 7 phases in the Lok Sabha elections? Yes, this is a very common question because our elections are starting on the 19th of April and are going on till the 1st of June, which is almost a month and a half. Now, that is being done in 7 different phases. One of the main reasons being is that it's a big logistical challenge. We are the largest democracy in the world, and there is going to be about 1 billion, which means like 100 crore people that are going to be casting their vote. So to manage the voting process of 100 crore people is insane, right? The other reasons are, of course, to maintain order, to ensure their security, and to ensure that there is enough resources allocated to the place where the elections are happening. Okay, let's move on to the next question, which is, how to register to vote for the Lok Sabha election?
Missed it by that much.
Wow, you guys are waking up very early. So, how to register for the Lok Sabha elections? Honestly, I don't think you will be fast enough to register now and vote this time, but you should definitely register. You should still definitely register because it will be helpful for your future. You can directly go to the Election Commission of India's website, and there you will find an option to register to vote. A lot of you might want to change your details as well. Maybe you've shifted somewhere else, or maybe your name is not correct. All of that can be done through the Election Commission's website. Just go to the website. It's very easy, honestly, so go check it out. Fifth question is, who are the candidates for the Lok Sabha elections 2024? Now, this question is not an easy question to answer, especially because in the first phase itself, there are about 1,500 people that are going to be standing up for these elections. There are over 1,500 candidates in the first phase itself. So it's very difficult to answer this question. But what you need to care about is who are the candidates in your constituency. So there is a Know Your Candidate app that the Election Commission of India has also launched that you can use to find out all the details of your candidates, and you can find out the criminal records, assets, liabilities, and all of that. This is important because you should know the details of your candidate before voting for them. So go check it out. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, so in this one, the 6th question is, what is the power of the president? Interesting question. She is the constitutional head of the executive, legislative, and military branches of the government. and has significant power and functions in each of these areas. This means that she is responsible for appointing governors of states, judges of the Supreme Court and High Court, chief of defense staff, etc. But all of this usually happens in consideration with the Prime Minister itself. The President also has the capability to choose who the Prime Minister is going to be in case there is no majority that has been reached in the House of, in the Parliament. So the President can choose who the Prime Minister is going to be, but it doesn't usually happen. So that is why it is said that the President usually has a very ceremonial role. Okay, 7th question. Why are technical difficulties. Why are Lok Sabha elections conducted? Okay, so like we spoke about it, Lok Sabha elections, Lok Sabha is the lower house of the parliament, and that is where our representatives sit. So it is important to hold these elections because the government essentially serve us, right? Their job is to make sure that they are doing whatever is necessary to make the life of their citizens better. So the idea of having Lok Sabha elections is that we should have a representative for ourselves in the parliament and in the central, so our voices are heard over there, right? So these elections help us elect the representative of our constituency. Now, constituencies are also divided based on the geographical region that we are in, and also, of course, depending on the state. Each state has different number of constituencies depending on the number of people. So all of that matters a lot, which is why Lok Sabha elections are conducted. So we have someone who is representing us in the government and doing things for the welfare of us. 8th question. How is the Prime Minister selected? Nice question. So, again, this is a big misconception that a lot of people have, that when you vote, so for the elections that are coming, if you vote, you're directly voting for the center, which is the Prime Minister. So when you vote for someone, doesn't mean that you're directly voting Prime Minister Modi into power, right? What you are doing is you are essentially electing the representative of your constituency. Okay, depending on who you elect as your representative, the party with the most number of representatives essentially wins, and then the Prime Minister elections happen. So Prime Minister basically gets elected based on the majority party that comes to power. So for example, there are 543 seats in the Lok Sabha. If a party, in this case say BJP, manages to secure more than 50% of those seats, which is about a little more than 270. So if they get 272 seats in the parliament, then they become the majority party. So the Prime Minister essentially becomes the head of that particular party. So in this case, Narendra Modi, who is the leader of the party that they have chosen, will become the Prime Minister if BJP comes to power. That is the basic way of how Prime Minister is selected. Okay. So the question is, what's the difference between state and central elections? Wow. Oh, interesting question again. So, like I said, the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are the two houses that make up the parliament. The parliament is at the center, right? Similarly, the state has its own state legislative assembly, right? So you essentially are voting twice. Okay. Once you're voting for your state elections, the other time you're voting for your central elections. This time that the voting that you'll do is for your central elections. Okay. So when you vote for the state elections, you are essentially electing representatives for the legislative assembly. Okay, and in the legislative assembly, the people that come to power in the legislative assembly become the members of the legislative assembly, or MLAs, right? So your constituency will have an MLA, and that MLA is responsible for your constituency at the state level. Okay, and when you vote for the Lok Sabha elections, and the person that gets elected becomes the member of the parliament, and that member of the parliament is representing you at the central level. You guys get it? Yes? No? Okay. So the head of, again, similar to how the Prime Minister is selected, the head of the majority party that wins at the state legislative assembly essentially becomes the chief minister of your state. Okay? Last question we have here is, okay. How is the power divided between the state and the center? Now, this is Not that complicated, honestly. To put it simply, the state makes laws for itself while the center makes laws for the entire country. So the center is also responsible to support and assist the state governments wherever required, however and whenever required, like I said. Like, for example, the budget allocations that happen, or in case there are certain emergencies that happen in a particular state, natural calamity or any particular attack that happens, the center is supposed to support them. But essentially, the state, whatever the state can make its own laws, which is applicable only for the state, and whenever the center comes into discussion, it comes into discussion for the entire country unless there is an emergency in one particular state. Okay, so that was 10 questions that are important for you to know, that you guys probably Google and want answers to. So I hope you guys got your questions answered. Please make sure to share this with everyone. This is the first time we're doing it. So, please help us reach more people. Let's educate everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and thank you. Tata, bye-bye.